Today we are doing section 4.5. It's all about the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So remember, converse means it's something you already know, but we're going to flip-flop it. Okay? So last week, over a week ago, because we had all those days off, last week we learned the Pythagorean theorem. So I said if it's a right triangle, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Today we're going to start with the a squared, b squared, c squared part. If they're equal, we're going to say it's a right triangle. If they're not equal, we're going to decide if it's acute or obtuse. Okay. Okay, so it's kind of the flip-flop. I'm going to give you the A, B, and C, and you're going to decide what kind of triangle it is. Okay? Okay. All right. This is what you need to write down. So let me box in the important parts. So basically these statements. So we're going to type in the side lengths. You don't need to draw the triangles. I don't think that's really helpful. And we're going to write it. We're even going to write it backwards. So we're going to put the c squared part in the front. So the biggest part goes in the front. And then the other two sides go on the right side. If they're equal, that's what we did last week. We're going to say it's a right triangle. If the AB side is bigger than the C side, we're going to say it's an acute triangle. If the C side is bigger than the AB side, we're going to say it's an obtuse triangle.
So we just write what you circle?
Yep, write what I circled. Underline acute, right, obtuse. So we're basically just doing the Pythagorean theorem over and over and over today. This is kind of what we just did. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plug the numbers in. The sides go in for the A, the B, and the C. We're going to do the math. We're going to look at those if-then statements. We're going to decide what kind of triangle it is, okay? So you can just watch on these, okay? You don't need to write them down. Just watch. I want you to soak it all in. Soak in the process. So the question says, is this a right triangle? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find the longest side. That's 13. I'm going to do 13 squared. I'm going to put a question mark here. Then I'm going to put the other two sides, 5 squared plus 12 squared. I need to decide if that question mark is a greater than, less than, or an equal to. Okay, so 13 squared is 169. Still not sure what goes here. All right, so 5 squared is 25. 12 squared is 144. 25 plus 144 is 169. So 169 equals 169. If the two sides equal each other, what kind of triangle is it? It's a right triangle. The question says, is this a right triangle? So your answer would just be yes. Okay? So sometimes it says, what kind of triangle is it? So you'd have to say right, but here it says, is it a right? So you'd say yes. Okay. Part B, we're going to do it the same way. We got to find the longest one first, so that's going to be the 10. 10 squared, I'm not sure. 8 squared plus 9 squared. 10 squared is 100. This is 64. This is 81. So that is 145. So 100, 145. No. The less than symbol would go here. So is this a right triangle? The answer is no. Do you know what kind of triangle it is if they're less than? Acute. Good. So I'm just going to say no acute. Questions? All right. These are the three we're going to do together. I don't think you need to draw the triangles. I think we can do sufficient without drawing them. So just write what I'm writing. So, which side is the longest in part 1? Number 1. 37. So that's going to go on its own side. 37 squared. Question mark. Then the other two, it doesn't really matter which order. 12 squared plus 35 squared. So 37 squared is 1369. Question mark. 12 squared I know is 144. 35 squared is 1225. I can add those. I get 1369 and 1369. So what sign goes in there?
Equal sign.
Equal sign. Is this a right triangle?
Yes.
Yes, it is. All right, and if you need a calculator, they're right up here. Come grab one. What are your questions on the first one? All right, number 2, which one has to go first?
20.
The 20. So 20 squared, question mark, 17 squared plus 17 squared. So 20 squared is 400, question mark. 17 squared is 289, and 289. Anyone know what you get when you add those together? $578. So what symbol goes in there? The big mouth is opening which one? Or eating which one? The 578. So that's actually the less than symbol because you read it from left to right. 400 is less than 578. So what type of triangle is this? It's not right, but what is it? When you have the less than symbol, it's acute. Now, on your test, that is less than a week away, I give you those inequalities in the directions. So you don't have to memorize them, but you need to know how to use them. Okay? So don't worry about memorizing them. You can look back in your notes today. That's fine, because I'm going to give them to you next week. All right, number 3, which one needs to go first? 30. 30 squared, question mark, 18 squared plus 24 squared. 30 squared is what? 900, good. Question mark, 18 squared, 324, 24 squared, 576. So 324 plus 576. So 900 equals 900. So what type of triangle is this? Right. And the directions say, is it a right triangle? So you can just say yes. What are your questions?
Pink is the examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
How am I doing?
Ooh. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to look at number 4. Again, you don't need to draw the triangle. Just write what I'm writing so you can practice getting that C right in the front. So here it says, show that the triangle is acute. So go back to what makes it acute. What makes it acute is when C squared is less than A squared plus B squared. All I'm going to do is plug in all the numbers and show that this is what's going to happen. Okay? So I'm going to show that 20 squared is less than 14 squared plus 18 squared. 20 squared is 400. 14 squared, 196. 18 squared, 324. Add those together. 400 is less than 520. That's it. So they kind of already give you the answer. You're just showing that the answer works by using the fact that to be acute, C squared has to be less than A squared plus B squared. All right, on number 5, now I want to show that the triangle is obtuse. So what needs to be true for it to be obtuse? C squared has to be what? C squared needs to be more than or greater than the A squared plus B squared. Thank you. So now I'm just going to show that this is true. So 29 squared is greater than 11 squared plus 20 squared. So 29 squared, I'm getting 841. So 841 is greater than 521. That's all I need to show. You're just showing the work to support the fact that C squared is greater than A squared plus B squared. All right, real quick, now we're going to put it all together. So I'm just going to do one on this slide since we are on a short day. But now it's kind of like multiple choice. You're going to go through the whole process. You're going to answer acute, right, or obtuse. Which one has to go first on number 6? 15. So 15 squared, question mark, 9 squared plus 12 squared. 15 squared. Anyone know it? 225. Question mark, 9 squared. 81. 12 squared. 144. What do you get when you add those together? 225. So what type of triangle is this?
A right.
It is a right triangle because these two numbers are equal. So your answer would be right. All right, what did we learn about today? Do you remember what this was called?
Converse of the aggregate.
Very good. The converse of the All right, here comes your homework.